Hello?
What's your favorite scary movie?
I'm not really a movie person. I like to read more. I've got H.P. Lovecraft's complete works of fiction.
Yeah? What else, man?
That's really it, to be honest.
Oh shit! Like, no way! I like reading too! Hey, I'm Lindsay!
And I'm Robert.
And this is You're Always Wrong! So, just to correct myself real super quick, I'm not really a scary movie book person. Like, the title of this is going to be our favorite scary movies and or slash book slash whatever video games, maybe, if we have time. But, like, straight up, I am not a spooky person. I don't seek a lot of scary movies. But what I do watch and seek is, like, horror and horror comedy.
Yeah, that's fair.
I love me a good, like, horror mixed with some comedy.
Like some it's always cheesy, though.
Yeah, that, I mean, like, yeah, it's definitely cheesy. There's,
like The Leprechaun.
I haven't seen that, but there's, like...
You've never watched The Leprechaun?
No, but I've seen other ones, like, similar to it. There's, like, this funny killer clown one called, Killjoy.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the one where they're, like, aliens.
I don't know that. Oh, the killer clowns from outer space?
Yeah.
I haven't seen that, but I know about it. But, like, I don't know, I just don't... I don't like to be spooked. I don't like to be scared. I do it all on my own, and I don't need Stephen King or any other director to help me with it.
Lindsay's a total coward.
Sure.
At least you're honest.
Yeah. But, like, I grew up not really watching scary movies. I think for, like, a minute, like, probably when I was, like, a child, like... I don't know, I probably wasn't allowed to really watch scary movies, like...
I doubt your parents would let you.
I don't know if I wasn't allowed, or they maybe just, like, did not watch scary movies around me until I was a certain age, and then I was like, ooh, never mind, I don't like it.
Yeah, my parents didn't care. Not like they didn't care, but they just,
It's not that they didn't care, but they didn't care.
They were lax about it, yeah.
So, like, I literally did not watch scary movies for a long time. The scariest thing I saw as a child was Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. And you know when that man, like, reaches into that other man's chest and he pulls out his heart? That heckin' messed me up for a long time.
Dude, there's a way scarier part. The part where they open the Ark of the Covenant and, like, have you seen that part?
I've seen it, but, like...
Oh, wait, which movie did you say?
Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom.
Oh, I'm thinking of a different movie. I'm thinking of Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Yeah, that is they're very different. Mm-hmm.
Dude, that one kind of freaked me out when I was a kid, because, like, all these ghosts and shit fly out, and their faces melt off.
Oh, I just forgot. I just remembered this.
Like the Nazi guys, their faces melt off.
I know what scene you're talking about. I have seen that.
That one is terrifying.
You remember The Mummy that has Brendan Fraser in it from, like, ages ago?
Yeah.
The movie wasn't really scary. Like, the mummies didn't scare me, but there's this part where, like, the beautiful little beetles, like, heckin' go up into this guy's skin, and you can see them, like, crawling.
And they're, like, running away from millions of them, yeah.
Woohoo! That part freaked me out. But I didn't really watch and start seeking scary movies until I was in, like, 7th grade, I think. And... like a lot of young women, and, regular age women do, we get some crushes on some men, especially Johnny Depp.
What horror movie was he in?
He was in Sweeney Todd and the Demon
That's
Barber.
not a horror movie.
It's horror.
It's bloody.
It's horror.
I wouldn't say it's horror.
It's horror. And,
pretty tame.
He was in that, and so I watched that. It's also a musical, and yeah, it's probably... pretty tame as far as...
It's a musical?
Uh-huh. Oh, yeah.
I've never watched it. I have no idea what it is.
I, to this day, love that movie. It's horrible, but it's so horrible it's good. But I was young, and it was pretty easy to, like, first start me out on scary movies. There's, like, slicing throats, eating people, and Johnny Depp's there to, like, be kind of hot.
Get you a little aroused.
So you're like, you know what, like, it's fine, I can watch this. And then I watched that, and it didn't scare the hell out of me, so I was like, maybe, I'm going to start watching scary movies. And a lot of the scary movies that I've seen multiple times, I really only wrote down ones that I've watched multiple times, and then one especially noteworthy movie, And the ones I've only seen once that I've written down are ones that actually scared the hell out of me.
Yeah.
Because, like, if something's, like, to this day, there's certain movies that scare the hell out of me and I won't watch them. Despite the fact that I'm 20 years old. I'm like,
Yeah.
I ain't revisiting that. Been fucked up once, ain't gonna do it again.
The only movie that's genuinely frightened me ever was Chucky.
Oh, really?
Or Child's Play, whatever it's called.
Mm-hmm.
When I was a little boy, I watched that when I was like 3 or 4. Like when I was, like,
yeah. See, as a kid,
super
that would have
young.
messed me up.
Super young, and it terrified me.
The idea of Chucky scares me more than the movie.
Yeah.
Like, the idea of, like, your dolls and or other toys coming to life, like toy soldiers.
That scared you?
No. But it's like the idea of it.
You want that movie, Toy Soldiers?
Yeah,
Or
like Toy Soldiers.
That movie
or
was badass.
also applicable is Toy Story. Toys that come to life, and then when the humans walk up in there, they're like, "Oh fuck, I'm just gonna lay here."
Yeah.
That messes me up. The idea behind it, but Chucky.
The creepy little skinhead boy. His toys kind of creep me out.
Oh, Sid, the man that
But
like
you
got
mean,
his
like-
toys and messed them up, and
I mean, like Woody and.
it doesn't scare me. I'm saying the idea behind it.
Oh, okay. Just kind of gives you the heebie-jeebies.
Yeah, like that freaks me out more than like Chucky does, because I wrote Chucky on my list, but I like more of the Bride of Chucky and the Seed of Chucky.
I never
that's
watched
like,
any of that.
There's murder, but it's hilarious.
The Seed of Chucky?
Yeah, he has a kid, and
How?
well, because he's.
Magic bullshit.
I mean, the whole thing is magic bullshit. You can't have a
But
walking
that's
alive
like,
doll.
I mean, come on. You have to set a standard
if
at some
a doll
point.
can come to life and murder people
It can
and
fuck.
shit, it can fuck.
So what, is his wife just another possessed doll?
Well,
Or is
okay.
she like a midget person?
No, she's another possessed doll, but so I freaking love it. So it's oh no, this woman, and she's absolutely freaking gorgeous. Her name's Tiffany in the
course.
movie, but oh god, what's her name? I can't remember her name right now, but she has this like super smoky voice. I heckin' love her. Anyway, she's like obsessed with the serial killer.
Oh,
You
that
know what I
became
mean?
Chucky?
That became Chucky. And so she resurrects him because in the one before that, you know, he's like the doll itself has been like massacred and like he's dead.
Oh, yeah, that's why he's all cut up and stitched and stuff. Okay.
So she brings him back together. She gets all his bits and pieces, bits and pieces, and she like summons him back into the doll, and then he gets super mad at her and kills her, and then he puts her soul in this other doll out of vengeance because she like bought him this like haha fuck you doll, and this little like, you know, lady, and she was like, if you want to fuck someone, fuck this doll or whatever. Anyway, long story short, yes, Chucky gets married in that movie. It's a couple of dolls. They murder together. It's great. Tiffany's amazing. In a minute, I'll remember her name.
Yeah.
God, I love her. Anyway, Seed of Chucky. Some fuck happens. They have a child. And it's just a total shit show.
Oh, it's like an awful movie?
It's like that one is there's like murder in it, but it's like a comedy.
Yeah.
It's so good though. I've seen those.
So what does the kid look like?
It's a doll, cause it's birthed by a doll.
Yeah, but like, what does it look like?
Sickly. It's like small, sickly. It almost has a greenish tint to its skin, and it has like bright orange hair. A twist is that like the doll like does not have a strand of murder in him. He's like, nah, fuck it, like I don't want to fucking murder people. And then his parents like murdering people around him and everything drives him crazy, and he becomes Glinda.
What
and
is
he
Glinda?
His name's Glenn, but when he
Oh, he
murders
becomes a
people,
tranny.
he becomes. I don't think that's the right word, but he I don't know, becomes Glinda. And he's like, he'll like put on makeup and stuff, and then he murders people as Glinda.
That
it's
sounds
so
fucking
good.
awful.
No, it's so good. It's so funny. I heckin' love it.
Do you have it here?
Oh yeah. No, actually, I think they might be at my sister's house because she technically owns them. They might be here. If they're here, we can watch them sometime. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
It has like some of my favorite.
But Child's Play's the original is supposed to be a straight up horror, right?
Yeah, and at some point people are like, oh,
This is ridiculous.
A possessed doll isn't super scary because you can kind of just like punt it.
Exactly. That's what I always thought.
Yeah, because, like,
Just
in,
kick
like,
the cunts across
in, like,
the room.
the early ones, he would, like, jump on people, and it was like he weighed as much as a grown man, but in doll form.
Yeah.
Like, you know, he would see him on top of people, and they'd be like, they couldn't pull him off of them. Do you remember that?
You know what? It's probably just like, oh, they're paralyzed with fear.
Yeah, I'm sure. It's just like some, you know, maybe he does weigh as much as a grown man magic stuff or whatever.
Magic stuff.
You know what I mean?
That's my favorite spell. Weighs as much as a grown man. Magic stuff.
Weighs as much as... So, some other scary movies that I've seen multiple times for various reasons is Friday the 13th has a young Johnny Depp in it. That's why I've seen it multiple times. I don't care super much for Freddy Krueger.
Johnny Depp is
Yeah, he's in like a super early one. He's like a child. It's one of his first movies ever.
I had no clue.
17 or something.
What the fuck?
Yeah, he was a kid. And I don't know if it's the first Nightmare on Elm Street.
Would you smash underage Johnny Depp?
No. Not now that I'm 20 now.
I almost called her slipping, audience.
No.
Her mouth said no, but her eyes were saying yes.
Listen, if I was 17 and Johnny Depp was 17, yes. Would I smash Johnny Depp now? Hell no.
No.
Fuck that.
No. What if he didn't beat his wife? Or whatever he did.
Well, he's still kind of like super alcoholic and probably drug ridden, and that's just not my style anymore. If it was like Johnny Depp in his early 20s before he was a super alcoholic and super into drugs and super beating his wife,
multiple.
I would be like, oh yeah, for sure. No ifs, ands, lots of buts.
He can eat my
He
meat
can eat
pie.
my ass. Oh, my meat pie, Sweeney Todd.
Yeah.
Damn, that's a good
You
one.
disgusting.
I haven't really watched Friday the 13th since I stopped thinking Johnny
So
Depp was
good.
attractive.
So good.
The new ones?
Jason Voorhees.
The newest one is super rapey.
Would
Jason Voorhees. Did I say Friday the 13th?
Yes.
Didn't mean to say that.
Nightmare on Elm Street.
I did say Nightmare on Elm Street. Haven't watched that because they remade it, and I saw the remade one.
Well, of course it's rapey.
Yeah, I know in the original he's like a rapist.
He's a pedophile.
Yeah, I know. But like they made it so damn rapey. I was like, this is too rapey for me.
Well, that's the effect.
Speaking of
it's supposed to
super
make you
rapey,
uncomfortable. I haven't seen it though.
Have you ever seen The Evil Dead?
No.
Speaking of rape, let's throw in some woman gets raped by trees.
Oh yeah, I remember everyone talked about that at school.
I've seen that multiple times.
I heard that was actually really scary.
It's scary to a lot of people because the Bible talks about possession and the possibility of possession, but the movie is revolved around a possessed person.
Yeah.
So
because it's
if you believe in the possibility of possession, then yeah, it's probably a little bit more scary.
But that's not.
Also, if you're a person that goes around like raiding houses and finding books in a different language and reading it out loud.
It's the Necronomicon.
Yeah. And you just start like doing seances and stuff. Sure, that could be scary, but as a person who is not going to get possessed, is not going around reading, different versions of books out loud that I don't know are super safe to read out loud, I'm safe.
Yeah.
I'm doing good. I don't go outside. Trees can't get me on the inside. My trees aren't possessed. We're fine.
Yeah.
I've seen that one multiple times. Oh, and then Little Shop of Horrors. I love things of that
Is that a
scenario.
horror movie?
Yes, in the title. Yes, it's horror. Horror is more. I don't know the technical.
It's morbid.
It's more morbid. It's more bloody than like scary is it's gonna be more shock.
It's not actively trying to frighten you.
Horror or scary?
Like the
Horror?
traditional scary movie is actively trying to frighten its audience.
And then I have a small list of things that genuinely fucked me up. Do you want to talk about like some of your experiences with scary stuff?
I haven't. Like I said in the intro, I'm not like a movie person. I don't like movies that much. I don't hate them. It's just I'd much rather get a story in a different way. But I do love Friday the 13th purely because Jason Voorhees is just badass.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's not a good. I'm not saying he's like I support what he does. I'm just saying.
Just to make it clear, any serial killers listening now, haunted
we condemn
or not,
them.
We don't support you in your serial killing. Unless you're going to come this way and try to serial kill us, then,
Bring it, pussy.
Don't serial kill me, but I support you if it will make you not serial kill me.
Pussy-ass bitch.
Anyway, that's the end of this PSA. So, Robert, how do you feel about Jason Voorhees, except for if you're not supporting him, you're just, the concept?
Yeah, he's badass. He's super
A child.
strong.
Drowns in the lake. He cannot swim.
They probably know the synopsis of the story.
I was just gonna do some like
ASMR.
background.
Synopsis ASMR.
Sure.
But yeah, he can teleport. He's super strong. He can't die.
I just saw the original one the other day.
Uh-huh.
It's so good.
It's so good.
It's so much better than the newer ones. I love old horror, old scary movies. Because like
when
I
you
have
mean
been,
old, when you say old scary
Well, I
movies,
don't mean,
I'm
like-
thinking 30s,
yeah,
40s.
I don't mean like dumb old.
You mean like 80s?
Anything before like really the 2000s. Like, because the
Horror movies have been
2000s,
garbage.
the 2000s came along and it wasn't even like, we don't even need plot, we just need lots of blood, lots of murder,
Jump
like
scares.
fucked up shit.
Jump scares.
And I have been so just bombarded with this. To see an old scary movie is just refreshing.
Yeah.
It's like from the 80s and it's just like dun 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 dun. You don't even see the people get stabbed. It's
Yeah.
just a knife in the air coming down. Maybe some blood might splash on a wall.
Yeah.
But that's it.
Mm-hmm.
You're not seeing people get like massacred.
Yeah. Or like torture, raped, murdered.
The classic, I'm falling and I can't get up, and then I get stabbed 20 minutes later because I can't fall. It's not even wrong for them to do that because that was an original concept.
Yeah.
Love it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm in the shower, but you're not going to see my boobs. Love it.
Well, a lot of the horror movies you do see boobs though. Like especially in the 80s.
Well, I'm just saying, like, but nowadays it's straight up like the whole movie. This one character's naked the entire damn time.
Okay, you can't
Conch out
complain
for the
about
world.
that because you love American Horror Story. And all
Yeah.
that is titty,
don't even
ass, and murder.
I used to love American Horror Story when like I was super depressed and something had to be very extreme
when you
for
were
me
a
to.
teenage girl.
When I had to, I could not feel anything unless it was super extreme. So it's like, if I'm gonna see someone be murdered,
Extreme.
it better be like
The Black Dahlia.
extreme, crazy,
Yeah.
or I am not gonna react to it because I am brain dead.
The horror should not even be in the name of that show because it is so predictable what's going to happen next.
American Murder Story.
There's exactly American Murder Sex compilation.
Well, it's still horror, even if you know what's gonna happen.
Yeah, but it's so tenuous. Like, there's no tension. There's no mystery. It's, oh, what's gonna happen next scene? Fucking. Okay, next scene. Some guy's gonna die just 'cause. It's like, make up excuses for people to fuck and or kill or both.
If it wasn't centered around young people, there would probably be less fucking.
Yeah.
But teenagers fuck.
Well, that
Anyway,
show is very
anyway.
clearly targeted for teenage girls.
I used to really like American Horror Story, like seasons 1 through whatever the fuck before the haunted hotel, before Hotel.
Mhm.
So it was probably like Freak Show was probably the last super good.
Is that Unicorn
season.
Dick?
No,
Rapist?
Hotel is Unicorn Dick.
That's so
Rapist.
stupid.
That's
so dumb.
It's just like shock. It's a lot of just like shock, scare, shock. I wouldn't even call it scare. It's just like
It's not
to
scary.
shock people.
Yeah.
I don't know, unicorn rape dick. Like the concept. That's scary.
Yeah.
But anyway,
It's just like edgy for edge's sake.
this new series, new season 8 on TV right now.
This is not American Horror Story cast.
I'm just gonna
though.
go real quick. It's really good so far.
Yeah, I doubt it.
It's really good so far.
To Lindsay.
To a
Probably
few-
rubbish to most people.
Not to most people. Rubbish, like you in fucking England.
I mean,
You
about-
say garbage.
If you consider like
Anyway.
the 7 billion people, then to most people it probably is garbage.
It wouldn't be on TV if to most people it was garbage. They wouldn't keep bringing it back.
You don't
That's
understand
not
what I
how
just
network
said.
television is. If
You're wrong.
3 people hate it, they're like, get it out of here. It's
You're
not making us money.
wrong.
You're wrong.
Anyways, this was supposed to be my bit, and you took over.
I don't give a fuck.
With your
It's
trash.
my podcast.
It's not your podcast, bitch. You don't even know
It's
how to
my
record.
podcast.
If I told her to get this set up, she would have gotten herself tangled up in the cords and fallen down the stairs.
I can open an app on the computer.
Yeah, you just called it an app.
I don't give a fuck, bitch. This is the 21st century.
Other great horror movies. Hellraiser.
Oh, I've seen that one time. I don't care to ever see it again.
Because it's that fucked.
No.
Yeah.
It was just like, there was so much weird. There's like that woman who's like, I don't care, you're a skeleton. I still want to fuck
Yeah.
you. It's like, it was just a lot for one movie.
Oh, yeah, like there's books of like lore and like background
there's
shit.
just so much shit going on in that one movie,
Like
and it's like,
when you see Hellraiser, there's no explanation of what he is or who he
Yeah,
is or anything.
and then like 12 other things is going on at the same time. And then like, listen, if there was a movie though that's straight up like what Hellraiser does, like what his casual everyday life is, you know what I mean? Just like him at his home.
What just explains who he is and what he does?
It doesn't even need to explain it. Just like a candid film of him at home. Just like, you know, going to his 9 to 5. There's a universe where he lives, and I don't know if the whole universe is let's go grab a human and torture him, and that's just how they spend their entire life.
Yes.
There has to be more to it. He has to eat at some point. He has to shit at some point. He doesn't have to.
Okay, so
how do they breed?
Him and the
Where do
other
they come from?
guys, him and the other ones. Have you seen the other ones?
No.
There's other ones.
I've only seen the first one.
No, I'm talking about the other like.
I've only
villains.
seen anything available in the first one. So
So
there's
they're
like
called-
a lady, a man.
They're called Cenobites.
I know that.
Okay. And they're from another like dimension. I forget what it's called, but basically,
Cenobidia.
they're people who were like really fucked up and depraved
I know.
in this world in their life.
Yeah, I understand that.
Whether it was like self-harm or like
Super drugs like that one guy.
all kinds of shit, and they get taken like. Correct me in the comments. I don't really know all the lore because there's a lot to it, and I haven't read the comic books or the like regular books or
It's
any
just
of
like
that
in
shit.
the movie.
But all they do is torture people. That's it. And when you open that cube,
Yeah.
the puzzle cube, it brings them into the world.
I'm just saying, I don't think they just sit around and torture people
Yes, they
however
do.
many hours are in their day.
Yes, they do.
You don't have evidence. You're just saying yes, they do. I think
Yes,
maybe
literally what they do.
I think maybe for like 8
All they
hours
do is
a
torture
day,
people.
like maybe that's their job. So for 8 hours a day, they torture people, you know, and then they go home. They have a wife. They have a kid. They have a husband. They have a dog. It's probably not a dog,
Definitely
but they
not.
have some sort of household pet.
Some kind of flesh creature.
Like, I just refuse to believe that they don't eat, they don't sleep, they don't do shit, but stand there and just, like, whip people.
They're not
and
even,
tear
like,
them to
alive.
pieces.
They're demons.
But they still do stuff.
Yeah.
They might need to do. I'm just saying.
But Hellraiser is incredible. It's badass. I wish like I had the stuff to read. And because there's a
Can you
whole
not, like,
universe.
buy it?
You can, but I'm not going to. Like if someone's like, "Hey, you want this shit for free?" I would take it, but I'm not gonna seek it out. It's not that good. It's not Lovecraft good where I'd
Yeah.
actually want it. But yeah, like the art, just the whole concept of them and how they all have their own like torture happening to them. Like they're all in like a
Yeah.
permanent state of torture. Like the one guy's got his face
Yeah.
pulled back in his teeth, and Hellraiser's got the nails in him.
Mhm.
I also love the anti-religious themes. It's just super creative. And like at the end, or I don't remember if it's at the end, but where Jesus, the guy's face is like stretched on the obelisk, and he says, does he say Jesus wept? I think it's Jesus
no
wept.
idea.
But yeah,
I don't remember that
really
part.
fucked up, but really good.
I just remember being like she wanted to
It can
bone-
totally be overwhelming.
Like that one lady wanted to bone that guy. And I was like, alright, sure, people cheat on their significant other every day, whatever.
Mhm.
He then was a melting, decomposing corpse.
Yeah.
She saw his corpse shit. She saw his nasty decomposition on the floor, and she said, still would fuck.
No, you're wrong. No.
I am not.
No, he tells her, if you want me to go back to normal,
She makes
to
out
my
with
sexy
him.
self, to my sexy regular human body, you have to bring dudes, kill them, and then I take their
She didn't know.
body.
No, he didn't tell her that.
Yes, he did.
No, he didn't.
I'm not gonna argue with
I
you.
don't think he did.
He
Because I
did.
remember her being like, ugh!
And he eventually comes back to normal.
I know that. But when he's a corpse,
Yeah, she does.
they don't like fuck, but I remember they got so close to fucking.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's a corpse.
Yeah.
That's almost a complete skeleton. He can't even pick himself up.
He's
'cause
basically a nervous
decomposing.
system. He's like
And
jelly.
she's like, hey, that nervous system? What the fuck?
Yeah.
Can't relate. I just saw that and I was like,
And you know what's really fucked up? So you know how like the protagonist is that like teenage girl?
yeah.
Her dad, I think it's her dad, is the last guy that chick kills. And so when he takes his body to make
It
himself
looks like
complete,
his dad.
it looks like her dad.
Yeah, I remember that. I
Yeah.
haven't seen it probably in like, I have like flash memories. I probably haven't seen it in like a year.
Yeah, you don't. You have no idea. Clearly.
I remember it. I remember like her dad, but like I could have swore that he didn't tell her
Yeah,
that
he
he
totally
had to
tells
murder.
her. He totally tells her that.
Because I thought she thought. Because I thought that they.
You said thought about 13 times.
Yeah, I know. Because I'm trying to like get this together. I don't think
You can
she
just
knows
say
he's
you're
gonna like
wrong.
eat him.
What?
He like eats him.
No, he just takes. It's not an exact
Does he
science.
eat
I'll
him?
be honest.
I just remember her being like super shocked and being like, "Oh fuck, that's real fucked up." Like I don't think she completely knew what was gonna happen.
Okay, if she didn't know, then why would she even bring a guy there and kill him in the first place?
Did she kill him or did the corpse man?
No, she kills him
I think the corpse man
with a
kills
fucking
him.
hammer.
I think the corpse man does it.
I think you're just wrong, and you're just arguing because you're in too deep, and you're trying to keep up above your head
do not
instead of
argue
going under.
things. I'm not saying you're wrong.
Yes,
I'm
you
just
are.
saying. I'm just saying, like, I think she does kill people after the first one. I just think the first
Yes,
one.
because she has to.
Yeah,
bring him
I'm just
back.
saying the first one was a bit of surprise on her.
Anyways,
Anyways.
I'm done with this shit. Those are the really only film franchises, and I'm not even like super into Hellraiser.
Have you seen more than one?
Yeah, I've watched like 3 of them, I think.
Hell raised again.
There's a lot.
I just made that up. I don't know.
There's a lot of them. There's like 8 or 9.
Yeah.
Most of the horror.
Damn, that's a lot.
Most of the horror that I like is in the form of short stories. Just because, I mean, movies, and I'm gonna sound pretentious. Movies are made for like the common denominator, most basic person. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they're not always very well.
It's just short, quick, easy entertainment.
Yeah, but there's not a lot of thought put into them a lot of the time. So that's
yeah, I feel
that's
like you're
why
run of the mill.
99% of them is like, this is just some serial killer, and he's killing these people because, and that's the whole movie.
Yeah.
And it's just garbage, and it's boring, and it's derivative, and I hate it. But with short stories, you have people actually writing about real shit. Well, not real shit, but like actually terrifying shit in a way that's not like, oh, he's gonna kill somebody. Like, you know, I like that horror where you have a realization that like ruins your life. You know what I mean?
See, like, I understand why you like that more, completely.
Yeah.
I think that's logical. I think anytime people are afraid of, like, shit, like, that takes a minute to develop or whatever, but I am most afraid every damn time of the most illogical.
Yeah.
Like, I'll watch a movie all day long about somebody breaking into someone's house and they get killed, and it's like, people are afraid of it because that could literally happen.
Yeah.
Like, stuff like that, I'm like, no, that doesn't scare me at all. But when it's illogical,
Yeah.
dumb shit, for some reason, that scares me, and I hate it because I know it's not real.
Yeah.
Like the Babadook.
Yeah. We talked about this in the Fierce one.
We'll come back to this in a second. Cause that's one of I only wrote down like 2 movies that genuinely messed me up. And
One
the
of them was the
one.
Babadook.
Yes, but you're talking about your short stories that make sense to be scared of.
Yeah, so there's something way more terrifying than like if your story's about guy escapes from an asylum, he was a serial killer, and then there's some teenagers camping out, and then he is trying to kill them. You know, that's
I don't like those.
Yeah, but that's like 99% of horror movies. It's
Oh,
X
yeah.
person / monster trying to kill people
Yeah.
because. And yeah, I mean, if something's trying to kill you, that is scary, but it's so temporary. You know what I mean? Like, if there's some guy trying to kill you, and if, you know, they call the cops, it resolves the story, he's arrested, whatever.
Or you're murdered.
Or you're murdered.
Which, after you're dead, you don't know you've been murdered. Maybe.
Exactly.
Maybe.
Definitely.
Maybe.
So, those are temporary. The reason why I love H.P. Lovecraft is because in like 99% of his stories, it's like the terrifying thing
Is yourself.
is a realization about either yourself or the universe
Yeah.
or whatever. Like, one of my favorite short stories of his is called Dagon, and it's really short, so I can summarize it pretty quickly.
Mhm.
What happens? There's a guy. He's on a boat. They're going on expedition. Something happens, and they have to evacuate the boat. So he's
Yeah.
in a lifeboat. Well, he's riding out. He's alone on this lifeboat, and this is like a long time ago, like 1800s, 1900s. He falls asleep in the lifeboat at night, and
Yeah.
he wakes up during the day, and his boat's not moving anymore. So he's like, what the fuck? He looks out, and he's like, for miles in every direction, there's like this black, slimy tar stuff.
Ew, gross.
So he gets out, and he's like, what the fuck? I must be on some kind of
Wait,
weird...
he gets out?
Yeah, he gets
so
out of the boat.
He's standing in the tar.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's like, I must have hit land, and I'm on some kind of weird island. So he walks like the whole day. He spends an entire day walking.
Yeah.
Then it's nighttime, and he gets to the point where there's a massive pit, like just a giant crater,
Okay.
and it's like filled with water. Okay?
Okay.
And there's like a huge stone coming out of the water
Okay.
that's got like fish people and
Oh.
like huge ocean creatures on it
Okay.
that like he's never seen before.
Yeah.
So he's like, this is so weird. Some kind of like native tribe must have carved this. This must be like their gods. And then he sees in the water, like through the reflection of the moonlight on the water, he sees a giant fish person, like moving in the water. And he's like, oh fuck, like they exist.
Yeah.
And he runs as fast as he can. He gets back on lifeboat, and then he like goes back to sleep, wakes up, he's in the water again. And so now that he knows that these giant sea creature people exist, he like can't cope with life anymore.
Oh.
So he like becomes addicted to drugs to keep himself like unconscious.
Yeah.
And not thinking about, oh my god, there are these horrible creatures in the water.
Yeah.
Until he kills himself.
Huh.
So it's like, it's not even that the monster itself was the fear. It was like
there's so much that
knowing
I don't know.
that there's something out there fucks me up so bad I can't even cope anymore. That's genuinely horrifying.
Stuff like that like wouldn't work. Like if that straight up happened to me, I have such vivid dreams, dude. I would wake up from that next sleep and be like, damn, that was fucked. And I wouldn't even think about it. Like I would think about it. Like remember that one time I had that dream? Like I would just chalk that up to
a weird dream.
Because, like, I dream so vividly, I form memories from it. And then I'll say, hey, so-and-so, like, at work, there was this girl who I thought had a heating pad scar. For some reason, I was genuinely...
That's so specific and weird.
Exactly. And she was talking about going and buying a heating pad. And I was like, well, don't fall asleep with it. And she was like, what? Oh, yeah, I'm not gonna. And I was like, because your heating pad scar. She's like, I don't have a heating pad scar.
So what, you think you dreamed that?
I must have, because why else would I think? Like, I have a memory of her showing me on her back a big heating pad scar.
So it could have only been a dream.
It had to have been, because she doesn't have a heating pad
Yeah.
scar on her back. Yeah, so it's like stuff like that. I understand why that would fuck some people up.
Yeah. Another story of his that kind of shows really at the core of what he thinks horror should be is there's one where when you're reading it doesn't even sound like a horror story. It just sounds like a weird sci-fi story.
Yeah.
So he's describing like the gods of the universe.
Yeah.
Like not in any religion, but like what they actually are, but no one really knows.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they're secretive. And they're disgusting. They're like, one's like just a bunch of eyeballs and claws, like a huge ball of eyeballs and claws, you know.
Yeah,
They're
like
all
how
just
that structure
gross.
even stay together.
They're like just gross, a lot of sea creature imagery and stuff.
Yeah.
But then the one at the end is like the one that created existence.
Yeah.
Like
Mega
it exists. Yeah, pretty much. And it explains how every other god is contributing in some way to keep that one asleep. Because if it were to wake up, it would just destroy everything.
Uh-huh.
Like, it would just make everything not exist anymore.
Yeah.
And most people, or not most people, a lot of people who read that would probably be like, okay, like, what's scary about that?
Yeah.
But the thing he's trying to get across is how, like, the universe just doesn't care about you or your life. Like, anything could happen at any moment that could just destroy anything and everything you know. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, we could have no idea, but there could be an asteroid that's gonna just hit us tomorrow, and we would just be fucked, doomed.
Yeah. That's happened I mean, we haven't died from it a couple times, but there's been so many times where scientists are like, "Ah, shit, this
Yeah.
could be it," and everyone's just like,
But that's like a core theme in his work, is like, the universe doesn't care about you.
The universe doesn't have the capacity to care about you.
It's cold, emotionless, thoughtless.
It is nature.
Yeah. And
Does outer space count as nature?
Yeah, of course. It's natural.
Okay.
Why are you looking at me shifty-eyed?
It just feels weird that, like, outer space
Yeah,
is
it's
nature.
not your nature, but it is nature. It's 100% nature.
It feels weird to think about.
It's not synthetic, is it?
Yeah. I understand it's natural, but I feel like nature is, like...
You can't say something's natural, but it's not nature.
I know, but it doesn't... Like, the connotation of
weird.
nature...
So, yeah, that's why I just love that.
So
that's so much more real to me than... Which,
Yeah.
I mean, a serial killer, that's a real thing. I'm not saying that doesn't happen. I'm just saying, to me, that horror should, like, strike you in your being.
Yeah. I feel like it also helps that you're, like, a big old man and much less likely to get, like, murdered than I am.
I mean, there is some truth to that, but, I mean, there's dudes bigger, stronger...
Yeah, like, I'm not
than
saying
me
you couldn't get murdered.
who
I'm
get
just
scared
saying,
about, who are probably scared of
Yeah.
horror movies.
Yeah.
I wouldn't give
I'm
that
not
too
saying
much
that's
credit.
why. I'm
Yeah.
just saying, like,
That definitely attributes to it.
a big part of, like, my fear is, like, I am so small, man. I'm
Yeah.
small and I'm weak.
Yeah,
Like, I'm not even one of those short people who have muscles.
just tiny.
Just small, man.
Mhm.
Like, I am murderable for
But
sure.
you got no choice. You could have a flamethrower and a suit of armor. You're still probably
My
fucked.
accuracy is low. So, like, you wouldn't describe yourself as getting scared by those, but maybe, like, psychologically shaken.
By what, these stories?
Yeah.
Well, it's kind of like a philosophical thing, too. Like, if you would have never considered... most people feel like things tend to just work out, and, like, things are just going to be okay.
Yeah.
But those kind of stories don't really give much credence to that. You know what I mean? When you have
it
that
really
realization
takes away
that
from
space really is empty and lifeless, and like you couldn't exist outside of
Yeah.
this planet, it kind of sucks away optimism and stuff. So it's like,
I mean,
in a
I
way,
don't think that sucks away optimism. Like, there's a lot of situations in which I couldn't survive. That doesn't mean I'm not optimistic about surviving in space.
no, just the fact that the universe is a cold, careless nothing, and you could just die.
Yeah, but that doesn't make me less optimistic. I'm still having a good time.
Yeah, I know, but
There's still brownies.
yeah,
There's still Taco Bell.
yeah.
There's still dogs.
Another huge part of his, and something that scares me more than anything, is the
like,
unknown.
Would you say scares you?
No, it's horror.
Yeah, no, I'm saying, like...
Like, true horror isn't going, oh god, oh,
No,
you made me
I
jump.
know, I'm just wondering if, like, I'm just making sure that you're, like, actually horrified or scared and not just questioning.
Well, yeah, the first time you read it, it's like, fuck, that's true.
But you know what I'm asking you. Like,
Yeah.
you understand. Like,
I mean, when I was younger, it creeped me out for sure.
yeah. So, like, it did used to, like, scare you, but now it just kind of makes you, like, reevaluate.
Yeah, now I just have, like, an appreciation. Because
Uh-huh.
it's so well written, it's so genius. Like, this dude was clearly fucking so smart. You know
Like,
what I mean?
Do you know what he looked like?
Yeah, he looks like a fucking nerdlinger.
Really?
Yeah, he's like tiny, frail, glasses, generic nerd.
I just
Yeah.
wanted to know which kind of nerd he was.
Yeah, he's just like tiny little meek nerd. Something else that he often writes about that does genuinely frighten me is
Mhm.
just the unknown.
Yeah.
Like, he has a story called The Color Out of Space. It's just like this rural town, like a farm town, and then a meteor lands.
Mhm.
It's like a small one. Like, it does
Yeah.
no damage or anything. But there's like, when you look into it, it's like all these different colors and like colors no one's
Oh,
seen before and
Yeah.
stuff. And then people just start dying. And they're like,
From seeing too much.
why? What's going on?
The
Well,
human brain can't handle it.
like, the area around it starts to change. like a radius around it starts to change and be affected, and it's like
Radiation. It's from space.
it's a disease,
Yeah.
and no one knows why, no one knows what's going on, and it's just like
Just is.
all his stories tie back to this like fear of the unknown,
Mhm.
and like you don't know what's out there. It's
think-
always all his stories like the scary thing is always far out in space or at the bottom of the ocean.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or
Because
like
that's where the
in the
scariest
depths of a
shit's
pyramid.
coming from. Like, listen, the human psyche by itself can do some messed up stuff, but imagine places that we are nowhere near exploring.
Yeah, could
There's
not
some
even go to.
messed up stuff. Listen, there's some messed up fish where in the ocean we can reach.
Yeah.
There's some nasty guys that don't have bones. There's other nasty guys with teeth on the outside of their bodies. You know there's some nasty boys.
If you just look in previous ages, fossils we
Oh,
have
fossils? Listen.
underwater arachnids.
They used to not, like, I don't know who I'm referring to as they. Whoever you want to refer to. God, the nature, evolution did not care one bit about these previous these previous creatures that had to roam the earth.
Yeah. Some of them are truly terrifying.
Have you ever seen, there's this, like, shark-esque creature whose bottom jaw, imagine if you got a long jaw that was covered in shark teeth and then rolled it up in a spiral.
Yeah.
And that's just how he had to live.
When it bit, it would whip out and wrap around.
Oh, I didn't know that. I hate
Yeah.
that. I absolutely hate that.
So basically, what it did was like, it would
Ooh.
fill you full of holes.
I just remembered something that really scares me.
What?
Those stories you read all the time.
What do you mean those stories?
Those
Oh,
stories, the ones
I
about
was gonna
like,
bring
the
those
government.
up. I was gonna bring those up.
Oh, I hate those. Some of them are good. Other ones, actually, like I don't look out my window at night.
Some of them have genuinely terrified me.
Like Roberts came to my house and he's like, I read something really scary. You want to know about it? I'm like, no, because I'm a bigger wimp than you. So
So,
if you think it's scary, it's super scary.
What she's talking about, there's a website online. Lindsay is visibly distressed. There's a website online
I'm distressed about that guy ripping his jaw. His jaw just whipping around me.
called the SCP Foundation, and what it is, it's a collection of short stories. Anyone can add to it. Anyone can write a short story and add to
Is
it.
that SCP?
Yeah, it's an acronym. It stands for Secure, Contain, and Protect.
Okay.
And basically what it's about, it's like all the governments of the world have come together to form this coalition of people who contain creatures, people, artifacts, phenomenon,
Et cetera.
locations that are a threat to human life.
I didn't know there was location ones.
Yeah. That are just a threat to human life.
Uh-huh.
A good one, a good SCP that's a location, it's his house where if any living human approaches it, after a certain amount of time, these like shadow people will come out and they will surround you and they will reach in your body and start pulling your organs out until you die.
Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom.
Kinda, yeah. But they're all short stories. Well, some of them aren't short, but they're for the most part short stories, and some of them are fucking terrifying.
I like the ones Robert tells me where it's just like kind of vaguely horror-esque, like, you know, the leg or whatever, where you put it in a room with someone and people will do whatever it takes to like take off their leg.
Yeah.
The rabbit thing that drives people crazy.
The rabbit thing.
There's like this rabbit, and then if it's in the room with you, like it looks like a regular rabbit, but like being in the room with it makes you crazy.
I've read so many. Like,
See, like
I tend to forget
ones
a lot
that
of them.
aren't. It's like spooky is a good word. It's
Like the
spooky.
Tooth Fairy.
Don't like that one. That one actually kind of messes me up a little bit. It like doesn't make me not sleep at night, but it makes my rib cage tense up.
So the Tooth Fairy. Tooth Fairy is about not the real Tooth Fairy. It doesn't. That's just the title of the story. But basically, it's an insect that when you're asleep will find its way into your mouth, and then it will press itself against the roof of your mouth for a while, and then after a certain amount of time, it will leave your body. At which point, teeth will start to grow in the areas of your mouth where teeth aren't supposed to grow, and then into your lips, under your skin of your face, throughout your body, under your skin, until basically your whole body is just teeth and you die. There's stories like that.
Checking the roof of my mouth right now.
Yeah.
That's why you go to the dentist.
There's one called I think it's like the Doorman or something, but basically...
I don't like it. I don't even know what you're talking about, but I know you're going to whip out the scariest
I read
ones
this
for
when I
me
was
right
like
now.
13, 14. It fucked me up for months. Basically,
Oh God, I'm not ready. If it fucked you up when you were
It's a
13.
humanoid, and it has no facial features except for a mouth. And what it does is it will stand on the other side of a door that you can't see through, and it will breathe. It will just breathe.
Hate it.
And it will make slight, like, gurgles and moans and stuff.
Disgusting.
Oh, Lindsay, but it won't only be doors.
Jesus Christ.
It'll be anything dividing two rooms that's not transparent. So a shower curtain.
No, stop.
So there was, like, in the file, they're all like files on these things. There was a female researcher who was showering on the base where it's kept, and she just looks and she sees the outline of it, and it's just breathing. Yeah.
I would just, like, fucking
never read any of those.
I was just gonna say, like, I never shower, I never fucking...
Oh, it doesn't matter. It'll just go to the nearest... If it's a window...
Stop. I hate that. I see it. Like, sometimes Robert sees me get distressed, and he's like, how much farther can I take it? Like,
yeah. But
the reason
them...
I want to see Robert eat that jalapeno, the habanero, the fucking
ghost pepper.
chili ghost pepper, is because, like, the only way he gets distressed is, like, physical distress, and he just mentally distresses me all the time, so we just need some equalization here.
Yeah. But some of them aren't even scary. Like, there's one that's, like, it's a canteen, and if you drink water from it, it'll heal you of any wound or ailment you have.
That's nice.
There's one that's an arrow. When you shoot it, it has the effect of dropping a nuke wherever it lands.
That's not nice.
Some of them are just cool. Some of them are just sci-fi and interesting, but the original intent was horror. The first one that was ever made was, they, like, found this statue, and you can look up, it's called, which one is it? 473? Something like that. If you look up the original SCP story, you'll be able to find it. But it's the first one ever made, and they found a statue made out of, like, concrete rebar, stuff like that. And basically what it does is if you're not looking at it, if no one is looking at it, it can freely move.
Uh-huh.
And it moves incredibly quickly.
Yeah.
And it snaps your neck.
Isn't there, like, a Doctor Who thing?
Yeah, but that story...
I'm not saying...
No. Most people are saying, like, oh, it's just, what are they called? Weeping Angels. Most people are like, that's just Weeping Angels. That story came out before the Weeping Angels were a thing.
Yeah.
And I learned that, like, 2 months ago.
I was just pointing out...
Yeah.
That, like, there's, like, a similar...
But what's crazy is the dude who wrote that story added to it a year or two ago, like a couple years ago, after years of not writing anything. And apparently, like, in the lore, they use, like, a slow motion camera, but he's not snapping your neck, it's forcing you to look at it in the face. And the force snaps your neck. In most cases.
Like, it turns your head? Like, you
Yeah.
have to go look at it?
Yeah.
So it's like if you stop looking at it, you're screwed?
Like, if you blink. But it, like, snaps your head in this certain position every time.
Like, how do they, like, trap it?
Oh, they just got it in a cell. Well,
like, how?
So, anytime they need to experiment, or they need to do something dangerous with these SCPs, they use prisoners. Like, they'll take convicts,
Like, where'd it come
murderers.
from? And how'd they get it in that room? They just looked at it until it got in that room?
Well, that's all part of it. It's like mystery. It's all a mystery. But, my favorites are not even, like, scary ones, though. My favorite one is, like, this thing that's like a mega crocodile, pretty much. But it's super intelligent, and it can evolve in seconds.
Oh, you told me about him.
And it's basically
Like, you can't
indestructible,
kill it.
unstoppable. It's like the most apex predator ever.
Keep him inside.
Yeah.
Don't want him.
It's just badass.
Man,
But
I'm gonna
those,
be all messed up tonight.
some of those are truly terrifying. There's one that's a face in a window.
No, I hate that one. I hoped you were gonna bring that one up. God, I hate windows at nighttime.
And me too. I hate them. But the face itself isn't, like, trapped in any window. It can move to any reflective surface.
Yeah,
so it can be in a
know.
mirror.
And, like, no one else fucking sees it except for you. So when you tell people about it, they're like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah. There's a bed. You know how people are like, oh, if my feet aren't under the blankets, it'll, like, monsters will get me. There's one that's a bed. If you lay on it and your feet aren't, like, covered up, it'll, like, drag you under and rip you apart.
Well, that's why you cover your feet.
Exactly.
Ladies and gents.
honestly, I could go on and on about SCP. I would like to write one day. I've written a bunch, but I'm never happy with how they turn out, you know?
Yeah.
But if you're interested, you can literally just create an account on the website, write one, and submit it. That's it.
Is there like a counselor or something that reviews them?
Yeah, but they're not like super strict or anything. I wrote one that wasn't even that good. Like, and at the time I thought it was really cool, but in retrospect I'm not that proud of it, and they accepted it.
It's on there?
Well, I deleted it because I was
Okay.
like, this isn't, this isn't good enough to be on the website with the other ones.
It's the garbage man.
Yeah.
Danny DeVito.
It's Danny
comes
DeVito.
and eats all your garbage.
But yeah, for me it's just short stories.
Yeah.
Writing is just so, even though you're not watching something happen with your eyes, you're reading it.
Yeah, your brain is much more terrifying. Your brain will immediately make everything
imagination
worse.
will be scarier to you than anything.
Because your brain immediately is like, oh, I'm trying to be scared, let me go ham.
It's like your own brand of horror. And whatever you take away from a story, whatever stays with you, that's your unique experience, you know? So
Yeah.
that's why, for me, short stories are always going to be better than movies.
I just, can't make myself read
something scary.
Because I don't like to be scared, first of all. I'm not like one of those people. I have my heckin' Neanderthal brain in there. And it's like, danger, go away. I don't have this new evolved brain that likes being scared.
Yeah.
No. Catch me in the cave with my berries of the right color, not being scared.
Not taking any risks.
Ain't gonna do it.
Mm-mm.
So, I just can't, I can watch a scary movie.
Because it doesn't involve effort.
I heckin' love some, psychological thrillers. Easy horror. But anything that's just, this is going to mess you up something fierce, I'm not going out of my way to see it. I'm not going to the movies. I'm not going to pay to get messed up.
Exactly. I'm not going to get paid to be paranoid for the next 48 hours.
Not get paid.
I'm not going to pay. Yeah.
No, I can mess myself up with my own imagination. So it's all of these scary movies I've just kind of seen, except for the ones that I've shown myself, Sweeney Todd, blah, 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 where I know it's not going to be super messed up. I don't think I've ever messed myself up.
What do you mean messed yourself up?
I don't think I've ever been oh, I want to see this movie.
Oh, and
it's always been
really
other
scary.
people being oh, this is a classic. Oh, this is blah, blah, blah. This
Dalton.
movie's so... Dalton's never showed me anything that messed me up. He showed me things that messed me up, not scary, but just that's messed up. That is Requiem for a Dream. It's not scary.
I know that's a BDSM movie, but I don't know what it's about.
It's not a BDSM
Oh, I'm thinking
movie.
of Eyes Wide Shut. My bad.
Oh, that is a BDSM movie. But
Requiem for a
guy,
Dream. That's the druggy guy.
Yeah, he just almost kills himself with heroin. I think one person might. No, he doesn't. No one dies. I don't think. I might be slightly wrong. I haven't seen it.
I've never watched it.
I have it downstairs if you want to see it, but people mess themselves up with heroin and it goes badly. They get addicted to drugs. Bad drug stuff pursues. And it's just super messed up because it goes hard in those nasty, this is the worst it can get details.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like how horror or scary movies
It's gross.
scares you.
It's gross.
It's just gross. It's just seeing the lowest of the low of humanity.
Yeah.
So it just messes you up. So I'll mess myself up like that. Sometimes I'll watch a documentary that just is too much, and I'm man.
Oh, I do that.
But I've never watched a scary movie, and other people have been you have to watch this, and I'm is it scary? And they're nah. It
Not knowing
freaked
you're a
me
total
out
puss.
while I was watching it, and then when it was done, it wasn't anything, and I was okay, no problem. I watch it, bam, messed up the rest of my life. Example 1, Pet Sematary. Should not be scary. I've never seen a Stephen King
I
film.
think we talked about this in the Fears one.
Stephen King, his books, I've read one of his books. I'm not going to elaborate. I don't care to keep on going. Read his books. And then I've seen 2 handfuls of his movies, I would say.
What does that mean? 2 handfuls of his movies.
A handful is maybe 3 or 4.
So you've seen about 7, 8.
Maybe, yeah, I would
Okay.
say. And none of them have ever scared me, except for Pet Sematary. sweet Jesus, the coming to life doesn't scare me. I don't care about the kid who's like possessed or the kid who's just like heckin' nasty and murdering people.
Yeah.
There's this like sister who is a subplot. They don't even care. They're like, hey, we'll just throw her in there every once in a while. Sister, she has some sort of like bone disease that really warps her and really messes up her body, and she can't, anytime people can't walk right, like zombies don't mess me up, don't know why, but like when it's a live, regular human
Who has some sort of deformity.
who just like, not, like real life doesn't mess me up, like people walking with like limps or whatever.
Well, that's a real, the thing that happened that's going on with that woman in Pet Sematary is a real condition.
It's like a super souped up version of a real condition.
I mean,
like,
yeah, but it's a real thing.
I mean, yeah, like I understand that like people's bones can, I don't remember what it's called, but it's like where
your muscles,
your calcium doesn't stop producing.
Yeah, your muscles turn into bone pretty much.
And that too, that's not what she is. Like her bones twist and move in her body.
Oh.
Like from what I remember, I could be super wrong, but like I watched this when I was probably like 16 or so maybe.
Mm-hmm.
And I just remember seeing her spine and her back twisting and moving, and her ribs and her bones would come out, like not protrude, like break the skin, but
like,
stuff that bones don't do. And then she would just like writhe in agony. And it's not necessarily her or what she might do that was scary.
It's like a morbid empathy.
It was just like, oh God, it still messed me up. And there's this one part where she like, I don't know what it has to do with, like either coming around a corner or something. If there's like a second story in that house, I think she was like at the bottom or the top of the stairs.
Mm-hmm.
Because I remember for a long time, I was 16, 17 years old. And anytime I had to be upstairs or go, like the going of the up and the down of the stairs messed me up. And like it wasn't like when your brain is like, haha, this could be up there, and there's that quick second where you're like, oh, and then you're like, ha, whatever, nah, brain.
Yeah.
It was genuine. I have to hype myself up and convince myself. Despite the fact that I know she's not going to be up there.
Creepy
she could totally
girl.
100% be up there, and I cannot convince myself otherwise.
But what's she going to do?
I don't know.
Kill you?
Just the idea of seeing her would scare me enough to die. She doesn't even have to come near me. I just see her and I'll just like conk out.
Like, I'm not gonna go into detail about this, but every now and then I'll be on YouTube and I'll say like, you won't believe what happened in this, like, you won't believe this crime that happened.
Oh yeah.
And it'll be like just the most horrible, depraved, awful, unimaginable things people will do to other people.
Yeah.
And there's like 4 or 5, probably like 5 solid just cases of things happening to people that I'll never forget.
Yeah.
That I know, not all the details, but I know like pretty much everything that happened to these poor people.
There's a lot of messed up stuff like that. Anything that like is an adult killing a child.
No, I'm talking way worse
like,
than that.
Heinous.
I'm talking
SVU.
Like doesn't sound like it would ever happen.
Have you ever? I still have this book, but a long time ago I read this book on medieval torture. I guess that's probably one of the scariest things I've ever read.
Really?
It's fucked up.
Yeah, but it would never happen again.
It's not.
It would never happen again.
I mean, yeah, people aren't gonna be like crafting a brass bowl or whatever at home. But like, there's some things that people still the government tortures for information. The military still uses torture.
There's a difference between waterboarding and the Iron Donkey.
I mean, yeah, there is. I'm just saying, like, people could still, I'm not saying like they're breaking out all these old devices, but a lot of the implements and the things that they learned about how to truly make people suffer is implemented in just different ways today.
Yeah.
Like, they used to have medieval waterboarding where they would just pump water through you.
I've always wanted to be waterboarded for like 30 seconds.
You can waterboard yourself at home.
Yeah, but it'd be more authentic with like aggressive other people doing it to
Why
you.
don't you just like get a woman or a man?
A woman or
Well,
a man.
Like you can hire people on like Craigslist or whatever to like BDSM you.
No, it's not a sexual thing.
Craigslist, man looking for a woman. I want to be waterboarded, not to death.
I guarantee you, waterboarding won't kill you. It's non-lethal torture.
Oh yeah, you're right. I wasn't really thinking.
I mean, if you somehow inhaled enough water to drown,
well,
but
if they
you
did
won't.
it for like long enough for you to you wouldn't dehydrate.
To like starve
you
to death.
Suck the water
Exactly.
To starve to death.
It's so hard to die when you're being waterboarded.
They can just pump some nutrients through that water.
I mean, torture, yeah, it's fucked up.
Yeah, but like Pet Cemetery super messed me up. The Babadook super messed me up. Like, the thing that makes me the maddest is it's a figment of her imagination the whole time.
Yeah, it's like a manifestation.
I'm not afraid
anxiety
of my
or
mind manifesting scary things. I'm afraid of the Babadook.
Yeah.
Don't know why. To this day,
A lot of people
saw that. Maybe I'm 20 now. I probably saw that when I was like 18 or so. To this day, every once in a while, I remember him at 2 a.m. and I'm like, well, that's it. Guess I'm not sleeping well tonight. I don't know why. I don't know what about him. I cannot tell you. I can't tell you. He made this nasty noise and it was nasty.
Yeah.
He didn't even murder anybody.
I don't think so.
He didn't. I don't know why I'm scared, but like.
You know what that means, though?
I'm irrational.
No, that means they did a good ass job.
Yeah, no, they totally did. Like, props on them. Messed me up. If you wanted to make a 20-year-old lady just be upset the rest of her life, props on you, Stephen King. Props on you, Babadook guy. But now that I'm super messed up, it looks like it's time for us to wrap up, and now I just have to go deal with this.
Yeah, see, we've dredged up all these, the door man, the face in the window, the Babadook.
Like 5 doors in
Lindsay's
room.
not going to sleep tonight. Probably.
Probably not.
You're off tomorrow, though.
Yeah, it's just like I got things to do.
She's going to be laying in bed. She's going to look in the corner for the Babadook. She's going to be listening at her door for the heavy breathing. She's going to be looking at her window for the face.
I'm going to be intentionally turned away from the corner, sound on, so if somebody's breathing at my door, I can't hear it. It's gross.
That
just
be
sounds
horrifying.
like a man out of breath. I'd be like...
That'd be horrifying.
Damn it, Babadook.
Damn it, Babadook. God damn it, Babadook.
Well, you guys can find us on Instagram and on Twitter at YAW_podcast. Like and subscribe us on YouTube.
We are on iTunes now. We just haven't uploaded all the episodes. So we are working on that, but we are on iTunes.
Okay. Neat. Good for me to know.
I wasn't telling you, genius.
I know, but I didn't know we were going to be on iTunes by the time this posted, so I'm great. That's good news for me.
Yeah. So if you're listening on iTunes, leave us a rating. Appreciate you.
I'm afraid. Are you? Have a nice night.
God bless.
Papa bless. Bye.
Bye.